You're listening to Mortgage 101. I'm Clinton Wilkins, and this is a special episode that we're going to recap the last year of the show. In March, we tackled the often misunderstood world of home equity lines of credit. While they can be a useful tool for the right borrower, they can also be a financial trap. I think some people in HELOCs should not be in HELOCs. Yeah. And I can tell you, I see these clients, I bring them in, I pay them out, and I close them down. Yeah. But responsible people like you, it's great.
Yeah, you often said don't use your house as an ATM machine.
Yeah, don't use your house as an ATM. Yeah. You know, there's people that just refinance all the time. And even some of my own clients. Some of my own clients refinance, and then sometimes I think they don't come back because I feel ashamed.
Is that right?
Yeah, I found out about one today that ended up going to another financial institution, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
Once in a very blue moon.
Clinton lost a client. Breaking news.
I lost a client.
Wow.
And when I found out that I lost them, I was actually a little bit like shocked and saddened because I have a long-term relationship with these people.
Yeah.
And I would look back in their file and I'm like, they refinanced a lot. Mm-hmm. I think it just got to the point where they're like, we feel bad and we don't want to go back. Yeah. I'd rather someone come to me and I give them the advice because I probably would have said, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Let's get you on track. So I don't know what kind of advice they got somewhere else, but I always say, you know, come to me. We have an open door. Email me, call me. You know, I'm always willing to talk through a scenario. I never want people to feel, you know, bad about their situation. My job, I always want to put people in the very best possible situation I can.
All right. So outside of if people needing equity or cash or to do upgrades, is outside of a HELOC, what other options are there?
Sometimes people just do a straight refinance.
Straight refinance.
Yeah, and that happens a lot.
At renewal.
Sometimes at renewal, sometimes midterm, Todd. It just depends on people's situation. Yeah. And a standard standalone mortgage is good for a lot of people. The people that would want to do this for improvements, they're doing the work right away. The rate with a mortgage is going to be lower than it is going to be on a home equity line of credit. So if they need the money right away, sure, do it as a standalone mortgage. Then sometimes, you know, even I do the standalone mortgage, I'll still give them the home equity line if they don't need all of the available equity, just so they have a fallback position. But, you know, if they need the money right away, put it with the mortgage because that rate will be less.
What percent of people who are qualifying for mortgages pay their mortgage and don't default? It's an astronomically high number.
Like 99%.
Yeah, 99%, right.
And I'm just throwing 99 as like a number, but it might be actually above 99.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a very high percentage. Yeah. And the Canadian Bankers Association thought that we would see more defaults up to about a 4% range. Yeah. We've not seen that. I think there are more arrears today than there were over COVID because there were so many programs. And that's one thing that we need to be very cognizant of going into tariff situation, you know, us seeing our economy go into recession. There can be more losses and more defaults. Ask for help before you get into a default situation. In April, we welcome Keith Kenny from Century 21 to chat about which neighborhoods offer good value and how the areas of Dartmouth and Fairview are evolving. Yeah, we'd love to have this market knowledge. Yeah. We've had realtors on before, and
they've sucked. No,
that is not true. We've had some really great realtors on.
All our guests have been good. I'm just trying to have a little fun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And there's just so much going on right now, I find. And real estate is such a hot topic. Yep. Mortgage lending is such a hot topic. And I'm glad that we are here with you to be a part of the conversation.
So, Keith, when it comes to parts of the community, parts of HRM that are really, obviously the peninsula is the peninsula, right? That's a different kettle of fish. Absolutely. But are there any places like, I don't know, on the outskirts, Bryfield, wherever, that are still really a good buy where you can get good buys?
No, I think so. I think Dartmouth downtown is still a great investment opportunity.
Is that right?
The location is
I love
amazing.
Dartmouth.
Absolutely.
I've lived there myself.
That's beautiful.
And I have an office there, so obviously I believe.
Yeah. There you go. Fairview, of course, is still an incredible value.
Fairview's up and coming.
You know, and if you look back 20 years ago, nobody really wanted to live in the North End Halifax, and now it's bumping. Fairview, location-wise, close to the bridges, 102.
Yeah. What about North Street? Because I go down North Street, and you get that vibe that it's still got some grit to it, but you just also get the vibe that that's going to be a gentrified area.
You know what? Well, with the center plan, with the corridor zoning and a lot of different zoning changes, you're going to see some larger buildings going along Agricola North, Roby Street, Windsor Street.
I mean,
those
they've
main
already
thoroughfares.
started, really.
They really have.
Yeah.
Like the skyline looks so different than it did even like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they're concentrating on those main thoroughfares to really increase the density, to add some more vibrance to the city. And of course, unfortunately, it does lose some of the character. But, I guess in order to improve the infrastructure of Halifax, it's a bit necessary.
What about transit and the reliance on transit? This is something that is very important.
The challenge with Halifax is it was not built to be a large city. It was built a long time ago. So we're dealing.
Just even think about the population growth we've had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. But, let's just think about the internal infrastructure of Halifax. The more density we can improve on the peninsula itself and the less urban sprawl, the less, we're going to have the service, whether it's snow plowing or municipal water and sewers or this kind of thing. So it's good business, but it is tough for people that live in Halifax to see some of the, older structures get removed.
Yeah, the sprawl is tough. Back in April, we were touch and go with the Canadian federal election and tariff talks, ... But I still held out hope that it would continue to see a lower key overnight rate and Take a listen. Spring is one of the busiest times in real estate, so I'm really glad we got a good kind of state of the nation from what's going on in Halifax. And, I kind of took the impression that it's pretty good news on what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have been the same. We had that same update the last April. I don't think we would have. Yeah. So anyway, it's good. I can tell you in mortgage lending, it's very busy. And one of the things that we're talking about the most right now is what is going on with interest rates.
Right. What is going on?
I mean, your guess is
they're on their way
mine.
down, are they not?
They're definitely on their way down, but there's just so much uncertainty with what's going on with the federal government. Obviously, we're in an election cycle. What's going on in the U.S. And how is that going to impact things? What I can speak to is what we know right now.
Yeah.
Rates are on the downward trend. Typically, when they're on a downward trend, they will continue going down until we get to a place where they're going to be stable. They'll be stable for quite some time. And then the rates will go up typically when inflation goes up and they need to stop and they need to slow inflation again. Yeah. The one uncertainty is the inflation numbers were out and inflation is up.
Yeah.
And I think that was maybe a little bit artificial with, this HST holiday that we had earlier this year. So it'll be interesting to see with the changes with the carbon tax.
Yeah.
There's just so many little things that are impacting things. And I mean, it's little. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
The current Prime Minister, Mark Carney, going into the election. There are a lot of things that are going to impact what's going on right now. What I'll say to people is, I think the Bank of Canada is going to continue to lower the key overnight rate. A lot of economists think we're going to see the rate be 50, 75 basis points less. Yeah. But the rates are way down. Yeah. We are getting interest rates sometimes as low as 3.99 right now. Other rates are 4.25, 4.5. The rates are way lower than they were a year and 2 years ago. There's not going to be some big revolution or something that the rates are going to be back at 1%. I don't think that's going to happen. I think rates are in a more stable environment. I think they're going to continue going down, but I don't think they're going to be way going down.
Yeah.
So I think you need to be happy with what you get. And I think if you're going to choose to transact with someone, if you're going to choose to transact with your bank, or you're going to choose to transact with your unbiased mortgage professional, be loyal to that person. Get the advice. Get the advice that works for you.
I think develop a relationship.
I think the relationship
is more important than anything else.
I think the relationship is key. Yeah. And I think there's just so much noise that people hear that they're like, well, I need to talk to this. I need to talk to this. Yeah. And it almost gets to a situation that people just can't make a decision.
Yeah, I would add to that, though, Clinton, that develop a relationship, but also know when a relationship isn't working for you.
Totally.
Right?
And I mean, I think that's on both sides.
On both sides, exactly.
You need to have someone that you're going to trust and that you're going to stay with them. It's not a one and done, at least for us. Yeah. I've had clients that I've been doing business with for literally 20 years. Yeah. And these clients are loyal. They're not blindly loyal. And I'm not blindly, thinking that they're just going to trust me carte blanche. We're going to do the best for them for their specific scenario. But their situation also changes. And the advice that I give them today may be different than it is a month or two from now. But mortgage lending is really a snapshot in time. If you've liked what you've heard and you want to learn more, feel free to visit us online at teamclinton.ca.